All righty, good morning, everyone. Start the meeting at 10:05. How you guys doing online? Art, everybody can hear us well? Very good.
Perfect.
Absolutely, perfect.
Very good, very good. All righty. First, a couple of comments. Well, let's start out with guests meetings. We have a gentleman joining us today. If you wouldn't mind, introducing yourself and telling us a little bit about yourself and your interests.
Okay, my name's Bob Zinnet. I run a manufacturing company and had major surgery for the last 5 years, and can't do anything physically anymore, do back surgery. So I've started models up in February, and I have a passion for history. That was my minor at West Point, and I love naval history, which is weird coming from Army. And
Not weird at all.
I love this building. It's the coolest history in the world, and that's my latest passion. And I learned about your club through the museum, and I went online, and I'm a beginner, and I thought it'd be fun to meet some people with a similar interest and hobby to grow and find some new people who love history and shipbuilding, make it more fun. Thank you for welcoming me here. And
Yeah. Are you currently working on anything?
I don't bore you. I started out on two 32-pound cannons because I hadn't done anything in 40 some years. Then you start watching all the videos, you start buying all the tools, you start doing it. I learned I'm really bad, and I started to. And then you get on eBay and you start buying all your models. So I have a really nice monitor, a giant turret, but I'm trying to work my way up. So currently, 3/4 of the way through a Dahlgren 11-inch cannon, of course, a monitor. And today I'm probably going to start the CSS Virginia from a Blue Jacket, a wood model. So I'm just, like I said, I spend a lot of hours at night because I don't sleep, watching videos and finding little techniques to try to, I won't say improve my craft. I'm not good enough to have a craft, but try to make them at least a little more presentable. But I know I enjoy doing it.
First rule, no apologies.
So you saw my painting, I have to point that. But that's really it. It's a hobby I think I really enjoy, and thought it'd be fun to my people hopefully know a lot more about it than I do and enjoy it.
Good.
Come to the right place.
How do you spell your last name again?
Zinnen, Z as in zebra, INNEN.
Yeah. All right, very good.
Are you familiar with Model Ship World?
No.
Okay, I'll get you the resource for that. It's a online forum,
Okay.
and they have build logs, and there's plenty of build logs on the Virginia. And you can look at that and see what other people did and some steps. Model Ship World.
Yeah.
Can you type that in so I don't forget, sir?
Thought you couldn't sleep. All right, very good. All right, online. Do we have any? We don't have any new guests online. No, we don't. All right, very good. All right.
We have a
Yeah.
guest is here for the third time officially. Still a guest, you know?
Getting there.
Okay.
Getting there. Okay.
I thought you were moving on, sorry.
Huh?
I thought you were moving on, sorry.
Well, I am moving.
Okay.
First thing I wanted to do was we, in our bylaws, we have a junior member category, which currently has a half dues requirement. I would like to propose and make a motion that we waive dues for junior members. Second. So we will take a vote on that and move it towards constitutional change in the next coming month. All right, now on to the business at hand. Mr. McCormick, you've been here for 3 meetings now, haven't you?
Yes, I am.
And you're still interested in coming back for more?
Yep.
More, what's wrong with you?
I don't know. My house is like filled with a bunch of models. I said the mother load.
Well, I would like to be the first then. Want to join us to welcome you to the club.
Yes, sir.
Second.
I think all of us.
I'd also like to say, I think it's about time I want to start building ships made of wood, but it's kind of hard for me to do. So maybe some of you guys can like help me.
That's why we're here.
Oh, no, you're on your own now.
Caitlin, you understand sarcasm, right? I just want to make sure.
All right, very good. All right, I have one other comment. Can you imagine if outfits like Blue Jacket went out of business or similar, where you would not have access to fittings and things like that, and you were thrown to the walls to fend for yourself? Well, there was a company called Shapeways that was an innovator and was a storefront for many, many artists and 3D printed services products. They have gone bankrupt and are out of business. So all the artists are scrambling right now to try and find new homes. I've been in contact with several of them that I have dealt with in the past and heavily relied on for minutiae little things. I mean, guns, fittings, and things like that. Custom printing materials. So a couple of them have landed on their feet. Some have gone in-house because the technology now has progressed to the point where that's possible. And the rest of them are just kind of looking for a new home, if you will, because they don't either have the wherewithal or the resources to produce their own. And part of the reason I think was happening was that Shapeways relied heavily on, well, at the time was cutting edge technology, the printing wax matrix printers. Well, the technology evolved and went to resins. The prices of home 3D printers plummeted. I mean, these are things that people can do at home to save the CAD work. And the bill came due for all this technology and bills that Shapeways had heavily invested in, and unfortunately didn't progress with the times. They didn't evolve as the technology outpaced them. So they found themselves in arrears and out of business, which was really unfortunate. As a comment also, it seems like the whole technology is kind of going towards self-printing anyway. There are a lot of sites out there where people are uploading files and either selling them or leasing them for private use. And you just download the file, print it yourself. And I tried that experiment with John. And I mean,
And I look the same.
yeah. And it's probably where the industry is heading towards, as opposed to storefronts like Shapeways was. So if you're still looking to use printed objects and things like, there are still a couple of out there, like Model Monkey is one. Is Stefan, who does a lot of the work that I've heavily relied on. Very nicely rendered guns, fittings, and things like that for various eras. And they're still around. They've transitioned. One fellow that does a lot of figures and things, he's still struggling to figure out where he's going to go. I think he's in Europe. I think he's in the Netherlands or something. But there's others. Printful is another one that does a lot of figures, and they're searching. So in the next couple of few months or so, the industry is going to kind of have to reset, try and figure out where these are going to come from.
Gene,
Yes.
just an observation.
I recently, you know, working on the Titanic, I have a bunch of 3D printed stuff on there. And I, was on sort of Bloomberg release about Shapeways, and two interesting observations. One thing was that Shapeways printed everything for all kinds of different industries. They were printing jewelry, they were printing, you name it. And they were printing in all kinds of material going all the way up to platinum. Okay. So they had a very, very large customer reach base, I guess you would call it. But the other thing that was interesting was that, for example, when I was looking, when I needed funnels, I went right to Model Monkey and I found funnels. And then I was looking for cowl vents, and then I found a link on Model Monkey back to Shapeways. I searched for cowl vents on Shapeways, and don't you know, Shapeways had some connection to another group that's where I got my cowl vents for. So it sounded like they were taking artwork from various companies, various other vendors, and they would print it for you. But if you didn't like what they were showing, they also printed these other vendors' website, so you could go to the other vendors. And in my case, I was able to find what I was looking for from that other vendor.
Right.
So it almost sounds like they were advertising their competition.
Yeah, quite possibly. Yeah, my only focus was the modeling part of it. I was aware that they had a lot of other products and things, but ultimately, it's going to impact everybody. My little world is kind of disrupted right now, but I'll survive, and obviously there will be other people come up and fill the void. But for right now, for the intermediate time, it's going to be a little chaotic as a lot of these modeling guys figure out where they can go to get their stuff back online, back out there for people.
From my personal experience, when they say 3D printing, that's the easy part.
Oh yeah.
It's the CAD rendering that slows everything down. Got to find somebody who's really good, or who has a small scanner if you're trying to duplicate something that somebody has already made. From personal experience, the printing is cake.
Yeah.
Getting to that point is
Well, you
not.
mentioned the scanner, that Printl, which is a house that puts on a lot of figures and things. They do a lot of that kind of stuff. They'll take models, human models, and scan them, and then render them into little figures. And you could conceivably have a little mini me, put on your boat if you wanted.
Or a printer and taco stand.
Yeah. So anyways, I thought I'd bring that up, because I know that I used Shapeways as an outlet for a lot of the products, and add-ons and things that I had used. Because sure, you could build it yourself. Wouldn't it be nice to build in Gibson, Cox, Missouri? But you'd like to get one done in your lifetime. Alrighty. Any corrections? Minutes? Alrighty. One minor correction. We have Galen's name spelled correctly now.
How is it spelled?
Caelan. Oh, got it. We got it correct. We've gone anywhere from Kalen to Galen to. You're in good shape now. All right, very good. Any other comments or anything from folks online? All righty. Rylan, how we doing?
Okay, Treasurer's report. We started the month off with $5,959.13. We collected $24 in dues, and we had no disbursements for the month. And we have an ending balance of $5,983.13. And right now we've got 41 active members 6 associate members, 3 emeritus members, 1 junior member, and 1 honorary member. And we've got 1 person that owes dues. I sent him a letter about 5 weeks ago, have not received a response. So this member will be dropped from the roster.
We should pay him a visit.
I've tried, but I don't get any response from him.
All right, very good.
But I mean, everybody else is paid up. We're in good shape.
Good, good. Greg, how do the web do?
I've been busy. Been rather behind on posting the meeting recordings. Partially caught up on that. I added to our list of clubs the Hampton Roads Scale Modelers. I added, for models, I added Mort's HMS Victory. I added the museums, Wisconsin Maritime Museum, the Hart National Gallery, Deutsches Schifffahrtsmuseum, including the 9 associated ships that they have on site. Museum ships are listed separately. And 3 other museum ships not associated with a museum, maybe they are, U-505 and USS Cobia. And I added 15 vendors to our list of vendors. And on that note, I would appreciate you passing along whatever artist 3D printing information you have that I can list. People that print or people that sell.
Yeah, I mean, I've dealt with just a handful of them
Well, whatever you have.
consistently. Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's what I've been doing. I've been just kind of trying to collect and contact those which I've done business with in the past that, update their status and link. A lot of these guys are on Facebook. Holden is on Facebook, Pinterest, Hawkins is another one. So you can search for their sites there also, but basically.
But I
they're
don't know who to search for. Just
Yeah,
whatever.
it depends on what you're looking for. Yeah. And
What we have on there now is a list of categorized vendors. So if you want to search specifically for 3D artists, you can select one
No,
that
absolutely,
category,
no,
get a list.
absolutely. And you guys online too, if you have any names of folks that you have dealt with in the past that you favor, yeah, pass it along, get it down to Greg so we can compile an index of folks like that until they all land and there's a central house again, or at least somewhere we can go. Because Shapeways, without a doubt, was convenient, but there's other means, I'm sure.
It'll be an ever-growing list. I'd gladly accept information on any vendor of any type, not just the 3D printing stuff. The ones I added recently, I'm going through all the old logbooks and reading them.
Mhm.
Some of it not word for word, parts you can easily skip over, but I'm gleaning it for tidbits of information, including they've had vendors listed there. On the website, each vendor and each club has a verified date.
Sure.
So I can go back and there's a query. I can look for all the vendors or clubs that I haven't verified in the last
Right.
3 years to eliminate them. So the NRG site, there are clubs that have been defunct for 20 years.
Sure.
Kind of thing.
That's probably
So
the
anyway.
web. I mean, it holds on to everything all the
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
forever.
Yep.
And you search and, I search for something and Shapeways keeps coming up everywhere.
Yeah.
And,
It will, but this way I can prompt myself to
sure.
keep it up to date.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Anyway, so that's it. Thanks.
What, no progress on the barn?
That's not webmaster.
Show and tell.
We'll wait. We'll wait with bated breath.
Full scale model.
I can summarize it real quick. I hate painting.
Well, let's move on to old business then. Do we have anything else?
Old business.
Yeah.
Okay, we got the picnic coming up. That will be held in September. I think it's September 10th. But I'll have sign-up sheets next month. But I was thinking, do we want to do something possibly like have a catered picnic? Or do we want
Yeah.
to continue along with the format that we've had? I mean, it's,
I mean, September 14th.
is it 14th?
14th.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I mean, what do you have in mind? I mean,
Well, I was thinking, something like what you had at your house, you know, with the barbecue,
it would certainly be easy.
it's up with the members want. I mean, we can
Yeah.
continue on with what we've been doing, or we can, possibly do something like that. I don't, you know, I want to do what's easiest for everybody that can come, because we usually have about 25 members and guests up here. But, just something to think about. I mean, we don't have
Rocky
to.
Mount does a Rocky Mount, a big thing, but you can get a big thing of barbecue, big thing of, you know, all the stuff for picnic style.
Right, right.
They do it.
I was just thinking, you know, we've done the, as long as I can remember, we've done the hamburgers and hot dogs, and then everybody brings a dish and a dessert. And I didn't know if you wanted to change it up, or whether we want to stick with the tried and true, what we've done.
What would it cost?
I don't know. I'm thinking, right now we spend, about $120 on the drinks and the hamburgers, buns and stuff like that.
If I recall, the event we had at my place, it was, wasn't it close to 400
I was thinking
altogether?
400.
Yeah.
So this I was thinking maybe 600 for a barbecue. I mean,
Well, the downside of that might be also, I mean, although the food would be good, we wouldn't have perhaps the variety that we do with everyone bringing something to the table. You know, dessert wise, side wise, that we might lose.
If you want barbecue, I'd be happy to smoke a couple pork butts, as long as I get to keep the leftovers.
yeah.
All right, well, let's think about it, and then next month make a decision.
Yeah, and I'll bring, you know, the normal sign-up sheets I have, you know, for the potato salads and chips and things like that. You know,
I
for
mean,
the
from
side
the
dishes.
overwhelming enthusiasm, it doesn't sound like everyone's really pumping at the bit to change. But it's,
3D
there we go.
Star Trek replicator.
All righty,
We'll just,
It might be good to consider all this for next year,
yeah,
because we'll only have a month from August to put anything else together, catered, or bringing a restaurant or something of that nature.
yeah,
Let's
yeah.
stick with the barbecue this year and look at.
okay, let's do that then, and go on with what we normally do.
Yeah.
And
All righty.
Right, barbecue office.
And then the next thing of old business I got, I guess, is ModelCon is coming up.
Yes.
ModelCon, the last day to register with the Philadelphia Ship Model Society is Friday. And again, ModelCon is a group of ship models getting together on board the Battleship New Jersey in Camden, New Jersey. It's a one-day event, runs from 9 to 3. And it's a fun time, but you need to register. And again, registration closes on Friday. So if you plan on going up there, the Jersey is back in its berth as where it's been. It just came at a dry dock after having the hull refurbished. And it should be a fun time. I think many of us have been there in the past, and it's really been a good time. It's August. I don't have a calendar. I think it's August the 3rd,
6th, I think.
6th.
No, it's August. It's August 3rd. It's the first Saturday of August.
Oh, Joshua, you want to talk about it? I didn't see you there.
No, you, Rylan, you've been doing an amazing job, honestly. I think you covered it really well. So, yeah, I mean, it's an annual thing, you know, partnership between the Philadelphia Ship Model Society and the Battleship New Jersey. It's just a great day to promote the hobby. Have everybody hang out and we get to see each other, but it's also really good conversation to have with the visiting patrons. Are usually pretty interested, and we've gotten members out of ModelCon before, so it's just kind of great kind of day just to kind of hang out with everyone. There'll be pizza lunch, coffee and donuts for breakfast. If you bring a model, you get on board for free. You can tour the ship at your leisure. We've had times where we've had docents that have been in the show and then led, private tours to the engine room. I think last time we were there, it's all in the wardroom. It's air conditioned. It's on the main deck. There's no stairs. Bathrooms right nearby. The lunch and coffee will be served in the wardroom, so it's all very convenient. It's right at the beginning of the tour, so people have plenty of lead left in their pencil to look at things. So yeah, it'd be great if you could join us. And yeah, if you could please just register so that I could get a card made up and that I know you're coming.
Just to be clear though, registration is just for display, if you're gonna display a model.
Well, if you want, yeah, I mean, you can show up, but you need a model to get on board for free. You can absolutely come and visit and pay the tour fee, or if you can manage to find I mean, we allow guests, so if you want to be someone's guest, we could probably negotiate it that way too. So yeah, if you're
All right.
coming as a guest of a modeler, we'll probably can get you in for free.
All right, very good. Thanks, Joshua.
Yep.
Okay, any other old stuff? Yes.
November and December are still open for presentations. You got plenty of time to put something together. Think about December being close to Christmas. It's only 11 days from Christmas. We get to that meeting, or not, whatever you wish to do. But I'd like to fill up the year, because we got some plans for next year that will involve invited guests. But I'd like to fill out 2024 with presentations for November and December.
All righty. Noted. Anything from you guys online? Old stuff. All righty. New business. Yes. Ed.
I talked to Pat Darby last night, and this last week he had his aortic valve replaced, and he's doing great from that. They removed his pacemaker, and he wanted to be at the meeting today, but his wife put her foot down and said absolutely not. So he'll probably be here next meeting. Sounds great, a lot better than he sounded in the past meeting here. Things are looking up for Pat. He's confident a bit. Give everybody an update.
Good news.
Good.
Did he say anything about progress on the model? From before that, from before his surgery, obviously.
No, he did mention that.
All righty. As we talked about earlier, probably a couple months ago, I was going to cast up some of the extra trophies, the America's Cup trophies, for those that had built the America's Cup. We now have several of them in stock for you to make your deal. They're up on the table. You can view them if you want. The master we want to keep aside, but there's 3 others there. So if you're interested, see the boss man over here. John, make your deal with him for the trophy. There's one in pewter, there's one in silver, and one in gold. So
Is it possible to get half of one of those done? So if the person wanted to mount it directly on their mountain board, have a half?
okay, moving on.
Okay.
Actually, I think there is one in the box. There is a half one in the box. Yeah.
You know, a couple of those made up too much.
No, I
You know,
mean,
behind your plaque.
no, having casting it in half is easy peasy. Yeah. Easy peasy. Yeah, it's technical.
It'll be,
All right, also, from Karen Tagg, most of you remember David. She still has some of his library and stuff. She brought some material over to share with the club. I actually just donated it. As you were aware, David was a Britisher, so his slant was towards those kind of boats. But it's an interesting series, and we have 3 of them here. They really are kind of a set, if you will, from 1889 through World War II. So if you're interested in British naval battleships, those are kind of nice looking books. I guess, I propose that we bring them to our library, and add them to the, honor for auction if someone's interested in purchasing them. I don't know. What do we want to do with these books?
Where there's two options: hold them for the next live auction, or put them up on the website for a period of time. Whoever has got the highest bid at the end takes them. The way I do it on the website, it's not like eBay where you can like try and time and overbid somebody at the last second. Each time there's a bid, it resets the clock for 24 hours so people have a chance to reply. If it goes 48 hours without another bid, then it's closed, or something like that.
Right.
So it's, do you want to wait and hold them to the next live auction, or do you want to make them available immediately? It's two choices. And I don't care personally.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I mean,
I would prefer availability rather than auction. First books get like a buck at the auction, so we're not gonna.
well,
make any money on it.
we could
But
certainly
the
set a
other thing is the
reserve. I
kind
mean, they're
you
nice,
need.
nice books.
I doubt that there's anything like that in our library. Where is the physical library being stored now? I mean, all this stuff is on, we can borrow online.
The club does not have a library per se. There's a collection of books in the taco stand, which I guess is the club's library. But we have not been adding to it or maintaining it until recently. I cataloged what was there.
I doubt that there's a plethora of British battleships from 1904, whatever. So as a research item, they could be very valuable to somebody. I'd rather leave them in the library.
They're not very accessible there. So say if someone wanted them, how are they going to get them?
Well, I mean, yeah.
They've got to come to the museum.
Do
There's
we
got to be
have
someone in the shop.
We got a drive club email.
Yeah.
We have room to store books there if we grew that library.
It can't grow much.
Well, the model shop, the taco stand has a lot of good information in that bookshelf.
Yeah.
But that's the only place that I'm involved.
Yeah, but that's more ship modeling books.
Yeah.
That bookshelf
That
is
should
full
probably
now.
be the
Yeah.
focus of that collection in the model shop. Should be on how to rather than reference material.
Yeah. I mean, I think these are, if you want to look for a category, reference books. I mean, a lot of photographs, drawings, history, stuff like that. So whatever, however we want to treat it, I mean, if it goes up for auction, it's going to disappear in someone's private library and never to be seen. So I mean, that's a good point, Ron. I mean, but we don't really have those.
I mean,
If we have to
down the
establish-
path of holding it for a library, we got to sort out how to have a library.
Yeah.
Yeah, to that point though, I mean, that's the same situation that's been with all of our auctions. They all disappear into someone's private library.
Does the museum have a reference library that members can use?
You can't take the books out. You can, I just did it recently with a bunch of books. You can go onto the library, there's 500,000 books and documents there. You can request to see them, you go into you go into a conference room with a librarian. They hand them to you one at a time to look through. You can pay to have them scanned. As a museum volunteer, I paid 10 cents a page. But then I had some plans of the Constitution scan, and a 50% off volunteer price for 9 pages was $90. So the museum is not a really accessible library.
And from what I understand with talking with Karen, I think she had come to the library. I mean, the museum offering these, and I don't think they were particularly interested in these books, or they had a copy of it. So that's kind of how they ended up in my lap. So,
Man, put them in, hold on, put them in the auction next year.
yeah, and in the meantime, I mean, if they would be available to peruse if someone,
Next auction,
yeah.
the second show.
Alrighty. Anyways, they're here for you to look at, and I guess we'll just turn them over to you,
Yeah.
Greg.
I'm happy to hold them till the next auction. In the meantime, I'll scan them, add them to the reference database.
Unless we have a better repository. I mean,
Want to go in the tub?
with the other stuff.
Yeah, all right, well, so much for the British
Yeah, if you
battleships.
Put it in the list of material available in your library type of thing, and if there's an interest to contact you to look at them, then maybe that's a change we got to work on for us.
So any British battleship enthusiasts online there?
Well, I actually, in my stash that I may or may not get to in my lifetime, I do have a King George V and a Prince of Wales. And someday I may take an attempt at one or both. They're sister ships of each other, but they are like most sister ships, they're not identical. So I do have those kits. So, yeah, they're of interest. When will I ever get to them? I don't know.
Yeah. All right, very good.
I just have a very generalized interest in ships, so I'm sure I would find something interesting in them.
Well, we're not going to dispense with them immediately, so they'll be around for a while, I fear.
Okay.
All right. The last item was a set of drawings. You'll have to look at them. They look like they were hand drawn, and I think possibly by David himself on one of the boats that he built. If you're interested in looking at it, really has no interest of mine, anyways. But
What are the drawings
I think
of?
it's of. It might be one of his amphibious boats that he built. Maybe the Manning one is in the taco stand. But it looks like it's hand drawn, and it's it's a nice drawing, but it's just another thing that found its way to the house. So it's here. If you want it, I would probably say check.
I don't.
Yeah.
It looks long. It looks long and skinny with some hedgehog-like things on the back end.
Yeah, what it is. All right. Any other new business online there? Anybody have anything to bring up?
Yeah.
All righty.
And 3 tubes.
In-house? More new business? Well, good. And we'll take a brief pause here.
We go to show and tell, then a brief pause.
You want to go? Well, we got to set up.
For show and tell?
Yeah, I got to plug in my little USB thing. All right, then let's go right into show and tell.